bada, bada, bada. Oh, no, working. Shit. Okay, well, it's a little crooked, but we'll still get started. Let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm TH, and this is THMOTO. Today, we're going on a casual little Sunday ride. So, I have somewhere to be today, and would love to ride all day, but that's almost never going to be a thing on Sundays because I usually work on Sundays, but I requested the day off today because it's one of my best friend's baby shower today. So he and his girl are having a little baby girl next month, and we're celebrating her and them today, so that should be pretty cool. But I gotta leave my house in like 45 minutes to get on over there. It's a 6-hour long baby shower. It's a really long baby shower, but you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna turn up with everybody else. Riding behind trash trucks is really cool. It smells great. Yeah, so we're gonna hang out and do some baby shower-like activities. Gotta figure out how to rig a diaper raffle so I can win that, whatever the prize is. Oh, I also have to remember to pick up some non-beer beer on my way over there. Said to bring whatever I want to drink, and I don't drink alcohol, but I do like the taste of beer, which is weird. Just used to it. I drank for a long time and can't anymore. It's not really a don't want to, it's a can't anymore. I think I talked about it before, but triggers the old AFib. So, just not worth it to end up in the hospital potentially. So, but I do still like miss the social aspect of drinking. It is kind of weird when you and the pregnant woman are the only two people around not drinking. So, I'm gonna get some Heineken 0.0, and maybe I can get her to drink one too. That'd be pretty great. But I've been trying to think of some things to talk about from keeping y'all from getting bored with me. Unless just, you know, watching someone ride a motorcycle is your thing, which by all means, turn the volume down and just watch away. I actually kind of like the noise that motorcycles make, so I don't mind watching some of the other motorcycle YouTubers that don't talk that much. Like I actually used to fall asleep to motorcycle videos, the ones without the talking. So maybe I'll make a few of those too. You know, people like the sound. My audio just cut out, and I don't know why. It happened at that exact same spot before. It's really weird. I'm not sure if this is going to be a wasted video or not, but I guess we'll see. Because it just randomly decided to disconnect. Alright. Little fourth gear pull action right there. Not wide open throttle, but still took it almost all the way to the red line. Looks like top of fourth gear for me is 90 miles an hour. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, I've been trying to think of like things to talk about. And today I thought I would bring up, talk about scary movies. Because scary movies, not everyone likes them, but for the people that do, I feel like they really like them. I am one of those people. I am a horror movie freak. Definitely was not always the case. When I was younger, I was scared of, I was absolutely terrified of Freddy and Jason. Which is funny now because those are like the least scary type of movies to me, like the slasher, unrealistic stuff. The scariest thing to me, which you might say is unrealistic, is the stuff that feels like it could happen, that you couldn't do anything about. Like the demonic possession or ghost, the haunting type movies, you know, like The Conjuring, and what else? Oh, Paranormal Activity. That's what really got me into scary movies as an adult, was Paranormal Activity. It scared the crap out of me, man. Like I don't know why. It was just something so frightening about just that concept of the found footage style. You know, Blair Witch Project when I was growing up was also a found footage style movie, but that wasn't nearly as scary to me. But Paranormal Activity, feeling like it could happen, and growing up in a house, well, spending some time in a house that I felt like was haunted, that movie just scared me, man. Like, as an adult, I was terrified of it. So anything having to do with hauntings or possession and stuff like that, those are the things that I like. I feel like recently a movie that did a good job of that was Smile, because that was like a cross between a regular scary movie with like the blood and the guts and the gore and the jump scares, but then also having the element of possession to it. I thought that was a really good movie. I liked it a lot. I actually took my wife and I took my daughter to see that in the theater. She was 13 at the time, and she loved it. She said it was the scariest movie she's ever seen, which we had seen some movies before that. But since then, she changed her mind. I forget what she said the scariest movie was now. But not Smile. So the plan today is just get a little bit far away from home, and then work our way back off the freeway, I guess. It's kind of weird. I hadn't ridden for like 48 hours. Did not ride at all yesterday, unfortunately, and didn't ride most of Friday. The last videos I made were the audio comparison shorts, actually. So this is my first like full-length video using the voice memo app, because I did think that one won, honestly, but I guess we'll see how this one sounds. Maybe I'll go back. But you might also notice that there's something attached to my helmet now, whereas there was not before, and that is a chin mount. So this might be my last video with this format, where I have it on my windscreen, because I'm probably going to put the camera on my chin mount, so you can see like how fast I'm going, get a little bit better first person perspective. But anyways, scary movies. So I want to know, what's your favorite scary movie? And what do you think about just scary movies in general? I think that scary movies are a lot like another particular type of movie that's not safe for work. That you're there for only one reason, and the plot and story doesn't really matter. I think that, like, with a scary movie, if you get scared, like, that's what you're there for. It's just to get scared. I don't think that it matters, like, how the character development is, and if you liked the plot and all that fun stuff. Like, I think that if it scared you, that makes it good. And, you know, if it has, like, an interesting premise, if it hasn't been done to death, if it finds a way to be, like, unique, like a Knock at the Door. Actually, I don't think I would consider a Knock at the Door a scary movie at all. I think I would consider it like suspense or a thriller, and maybe you're splitting hairs there at that point, but it wasn't designed to, like, scare the crap out of you. Like, not many jump scares. It was just, like, kind of thrilling. But I thought that the premise of that movie was really good. And the way that they did it, like, I kind of rolled my eyes at the beginning. I'm like, oh, great, a movie about this. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, then you don't. And if me saying it like that offends you in some way, if you do know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, but that's how I feel about it. But I won't elaborate any further. But I just really thought that the way that it ended was really good, and the way that they built up to it, like, I don't know, it never had me cringing. It never had me like, oh, really? This is what they're doing? Like, I really thought that I gave it a fair chance and just watched it, and I ended up really liking it. But yeah, that to me is a good premise. Smile too, you know, like a kind of spoiler alert, kind of like infectious, I don't know, infectious thing, but not like zombie infectious or 28 days later infectious, but a different kind of thing. I really liked that a lot. But the reason that I started thinking about this was because my son wants to watch his first scary movie. He's 7 years old, and obviously that is young, and a lot of people would say too young. But he wants his first scary movie that he watches, because everything terrifies him right now. Like, even just a picture of Pennywise. It's a little bit better now, but he used to be, like, deathly afraid of it when he was younger, which makes sense. He's a scary looking clown. I think he's supposed to be scary. So, but he wants to see Five Nights at Freddy's. That's the first movie that he wants to see. And it kind of makes sense that it would be his first, because it's, even though it might not be quote unquote like tailored to kids, it's based off a video game that he has played before. He's watched me play it before. He's watched YouTube videos about it, and obviously he knows it's not real. I mean, you could argue no scary movie is real. Most of the premises of scary movies are based on things that could never or would never happen. So I guess you could make that argument with anything, but this is definitely tailored to kids with the animatronics and the Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant in it and everything. So I actually am okay with it, and his mom actually made him a deal that she would take him to see it if he could go through the Halloween store completely, because every single year he wants to go to the Halloween store, but then he's just too terrified and doesn't even want to go in there. So I don't know, we were talking about it this morning, and I think it's a pretty fair compromise. You know, if you can face something in reality that's right in front of you, then you should be able to face it on a movie screen. So yeah, I think it's a fair deal to work out. So we also were talking to one of his. So let's see what their relationship is. So it's my wife's uncle's son. So my wife's uncle would be, yeah, and then the son would be, so her nephew, I guess? I don't know. I don't know. I can't think about family trees right now. But a 7-year-old who's part of her family, he loves scary movies. He's seen It, he's seen The Conjuring, he's seen all the Insidious movies. Like, he absolutely loves it. And my son was kind of you know, like wanting to keep up with him. He's like, oh yeah, I really want to see blah blah blah, and the other kid was like, dude, that's child's play. Like, I've seen every scary movie that there is to see. So I was thinking that after Five Nights at Freddy's, maybe we could, you know, just some good old-fashioned peer pressure to get my son into the genre, just because everyone else in my household absolutely loves them. Me, my wife, and my daughter all love scary movies, and I hate leaving my son out of things. But I know that, you know, kids are only young once, and you should protect their innocence as much as you can. But I also want to include him in as much stuff as I can. It's one of, you know, there's pros and cons to having kids close to the same age. There's pros and cons to having them separated in age. My kids are almost 7 years apart. And this is one of the cons, is a lot of things that are appealing to my daughter or that she could even do, he can't. Like riding a roller coaster. You know, like he just finally this year was able to go on everything at the water park, which is amazing. We had a great time. This is for sure my favorite time that we've ever been to the water park as a family, because we got to go on everything together. It was amazing. But there are still some roller coasters out there that he can't ride, and it won't be too much longer, I know, so I should just be patient. But I want to include him in as much stuff as I can. I also don't want him to feel left out. But you know, those are good opportunities to do those things, I guess, just with my daughter and not with him. And then there's also things that he's into that my daughter is not. Not too many, actually, because my daughter still has a good deal of a good amount of innocence left. Like, she still enjoys watching Bluey, which is a 3 and up show, but she watches it with him, which is adorable. Drives me crazy. It's actually pretty cute. I've watched a few episodes. It's pretty cute. But wow, what a story arc here. We started with horror movies and we ended with Bluey. So yeah, let me know what you think. Like, at what age did you start watching horror movies? What scared the dickens out of you as a kid? What scares the dickens out of you now, if anything? Is it the same thing? Are they very different? Do you like scary movies? Do you hate them? So on and so forth. I would love to hear from any one of you that would care to let me know something in the comments. I've always wanted to take my bike on a bike trail, like a bicycle trail. There's one that runs parallel to the freeway here, and it looks like a lot of fun. But I would probably get in a lot of trouble. Well, assuming I got caught, you know. There's no one behind me, so we're just going to use the whole road here. You know, this is probably the most squiddy thing that I've ever said or thought, but going fast on surface streets is a lot more fun than it is on the freeway. On the freeway, everyone else is going fast, and there's just a lot going on, and it's a big wide open space. But on a nice little straightaway like that, where I can see everything that's going on around me, there's like there's nothing behind me. I see everything in front of me. There's no like hidden driveways or anything like that. It's just a nice straightaway. No kids or people on the side of the road, no animals, anything like that. Just opening it up a little bit and having a little fun. It's fun. I like it. Not gonna make too big of a habit of it. At least I don't think. Maybe I'll become a super squid. Probably not. Don't have the right bike for it, or the right mindset, or the right age. But or the ability right now. That actually kind of reminds me, like, I'm so glad that I got this bike. I'm glad I did not get just a regular beginner bike. I'm glad I got, like, the beginner plus type of bike, as some people would call it. You know, I'm not intermediate, that's for sure, in terms of skill, but I'm also just not beginner. And I think I'm gonna make it an entire video based on that, like my thought process of why I bought the MT-07 and how I reached the conclusion that it was the right bike for me. I think I'm gonna do that. But I'm just very happy that I got it. It's got enough power to scare me and keep me humble, but not so much that I feel like at any time that I'm going to hurt myself or anyone else. But it is a lot of fun. That torque, like, just, you know, this bike has not a lot of top end. It kind of just falls on its face in 6th gear. You know, I think that the top speed is actually, like, if I'm being realistic, I think the top speed is probably like 120, 125, which is fast. You know, it's objectively fast. It's almost twice the speed limit of the highway within the city limits. So, but it's not 165 plus like it is on a 600 or a liter bike or something like that. So it's not like, it doesn't just keep pulling on the freeway like those other bikes do. You know, I saw a Jixerbra video yesterday. I think he posted it yesterday. The one of him on the modified R1, and he's just at like 180, and he just keeps going up. He just runs out of room. You know, that bike can go very, very fast. And this is just not that bike, but all of the torque is usable, like on the street. You know, to just take that corner at 12 miles an hour like I just did, and then wide open throttle into 2nd and hard shift into 3rd, and like that was a lot of fun. And that's why I bought a motorcycle, not to constantly defy death on the freeway at 170 plus lane splitting. I bought it to have fun on the street and be more maneuverable than I am in my big ass Honda Accord boat that I have. Like, it's just, I love driving. And this is, you know, it's riding, but it's also driving, and I've loved it for as long as I've been able to do it. I've just loved it. I really wish that I would have gotten to racing or something, because I just love going fast, and I love the art and the skill of driving. And this is just the way to do it at this point in my life. Like I said, I was way too crazy when I was younger to be able to do it and not die. I made some really bad decisions and really big mistakes in cars 20 years ago. I for sure would have died. I just was irresponsible and stupid. What's happening? Oh, that guy on the motorcycle was going like 3 miles an hour. I thought that something was wrong. He's okay. So yeah, I'm glad that I waited till this point in my life, and I'm very much having a good time on the bike. And like I said, we'll talk more about that in the future, and why I bought this bike. I just hope that other people, you know, think about a bike like this instead of even like an R7, honestly. Like, I think an R7 could be considered in the same class as an MT-07 because they have the same engine, they have the same power, but it's just such a different riding position, like with the low clip-ons. And this bike, I don't know, it gives you all of the freedom and fun that an R7 does without the commitment to the sport bike feeling of it. And I feel like if you got used to that, like, you might end up craving more. Like, this bike, getting used to, I think this motor fits perfectly with this bike, but that if you got used to that power while being in that position, you're inevitably going to want more, and you're going to get a used R6 or a Gixxer 600 or a R1 or a different leader bike, you know. I think it's just a matter of time. So I just like this bike and the feeling of it. So that's my soapbox moment for now, anyway. I don't know if you can hear the music that's playing. In fact, I hope you can, because copyright. I can feel when max torque kicks in this motor. It's kind of like the when VTEC kicks in videos. But when you get right in that sweet spot, man, it's nice. Stuck behind this trailer, but that's okay. Looks pretty. Grand Teton National Park, Wyoming. That's one of the places that you could run with your eyes closed for like 5 minutes and not have to worry about hitting anything. Childhood fantasy of mine. Growing up in Southern California and the middle of the Las Vegas desert, I definitely never made that childhood fantasy a reality. I think I did have the chance to do it a couple times, once in Oregon and once actually in Wyoming, in Jackson Hole. We're almost home. I'm gonna try to manufacture some fun here. Safely, of course. Just recently watched the Fortnite video on using the rest of the RPM range on my bike, so I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that. I know my bike isn't fully broken in yet, but it's damn close. Still not even full throttle yet. This bike is so fun. Entering my villain era, my motorcycle villain era, aka Squid. still have never got up to red light. I have no idea. It's a lot different. I need to get used to, like, if I'm going to ride aggressively, I need to get used to like putting my head down, because, or like angling my head like that, because I really can't see what my RPMs are at, and I don't know the bike well enough yet to just know by the sound. Plus it's loud. With the wind noise. With a car it's different, like you can just glance down because your head, the gear is right there. Or sorry, the tack is right there below the windshield. But I think this video is about to cut off if it hasn't already. Oh, it did already. So we're back in another video. We'll see how that worked out with the 29-minute cutoff. But I'm excited to go to the baby shower, have some fun with my friend, celebrate his new baby, just have a little bit more fun on the motorcycle first, and then go and do something more wholesome. Be around a bunch of drunk people at a baby shower. Little bit of target fixation there. Sometimes I forget that whatever you look at, you will go towards. And then as soon as I remember, I just stop going towards that thing. It's a really weird phenomenon, something that does not happen in a car, at least as far as I've experienced. Like, I've stared at obstacles in cars since I can remember. Honestly, like, I look at it and I keep looking at it just to make sure that I don't hit it or that I didn't hit it. And it's never become an issue. But on a bike, you look at it and you just go straight towards it. I guess it's maybe linked to the way that you balance the bike and the way that your the different role that your arms play in that. Because your arms don't have anything to do with that in a car. Obviously, they steer you, but not in the same way that they do on a bike. So we're going to start and end this video at Taco Bell, I just decided. I do need gas though. Maybe I should go get gas. Might as well. Tip I learned from THMOTOVLOG. If you got time, just get it on the way home so you don't have to do it at the beginning of your next ride. That shift into third is so abrupt. Good thing the back suspension is good. At least for now it is. A lot of people say the suspension on this bike does not age so well. But I guess we'll see. so pretty here. I love living here. And all you can hear is a loud ass motorcycle and cicadas. It's pretty great. You actually see trees in Las Vegas. That's pretty cool too. When I am in the high part of the rev range, it does make me grateful to have a stock exhaust system, because I can only imagine what it would sound like if I was bringing it out at 8,000 RPM with the Acura full set or full system. I'm about to get gas at this place called Fabulous Freddy's, and it's so cool. They're like the one place left that in Las Vegas that will pump your gas for you. I know in some places like Oregon, it's a state law that other people have to do it for you, but it's not a state law here. And this is like the last place that does it, but they do not even offer on my motorcycle. Every time I come here with my car, like, you want us to do it? And I'm like, no, thank you, appreciate it, but no. That car almost rear-ended me because it wasn't paying attention, even though I have my blinker on. But on the bike, they don't even like look at me. Like, let's see if they even pay attention. No, they're not. I am invisible. All right, Invisible TH here, signing off. Y'all have a great day. Peace.